Hi, this is John Falstrom, author of EADG 4. I'm here at Melody Mart Music Store in Homewood, Illinois. In my studio here, which is about, Homewood is about 40 minutes south of Chicago Loop and the mighty Soldier Field. And tonight, I got to talk about this acoustic bass in general. The acoustic bass, when it came out, everyone assumed that you could use it to practice without an amplifier, and that's good. But it's not much difference in just playing with an electric bass. So it's kind of like, do you want to buy an acoustic bass just to practice with, and without an amp? So when you do a gig with an acoustic bass, usually you have to amplify it, and then usually it's like, well, let's just use the electric bass, and then because it sounds better. Technically, electric bass sounds better through an amplifier. Playing traditional bass parts like that, it sounds pretty good. But you put an electric bass through that, it sounds better. So the acoustic bass has been untested basically so far. What it's really the hidden treasure I think I found on this baby, or I know about. I use it, and it's not so much playing bass lines like that. It's more like learning about chords, strumming chords, and using it as a rhythm guitar. Its beauty and its treasure is to make it sound like a guitar, but of course bass guitar. So instead of playing a G note, and you want to learn how to strum the G major chord or the G minor chord, and this way you can instead of, because it's kind of like your bass part for that, say G, G, a C, D, G major chord, a C, D, those are chords. Now you switch it, G chord, C major, D major, C, D, G. Let me show you the right hand, what you do when you strum a chord on the bass. If you use your fingers, this way, if you just use your fingers, it's very awkward, and probably won't be able to play it fast enough. This way with your fingers, what you do is you curl your fingers, kind of like that, just like that, okay? And you kind of get that, and you go down on the strings with your nails. Use your nails and the tips of your knuckles right there, kind of just take it all the way down. And then when you come back up, you can do a downstroke and an upstroke. Just kind of use your first finger and brushes the strings. Like that. So the whole key with strumming a bass guitar, an acoustic bass, is the right hand being able to crisply hit those strings like that. If you're a pick bass player, you just use a pick, because it'll sound really good using the pick too. Using chords. Something about an acoustic bass, when you strum a chord, it sounds great. I mean, it sounds like all the notes come out evenly, perfectly, but on an electric bass, when you do the same chord, you can't even separate the notes barely. You can barely separate the notes. So the hidden treasure about this acoustic bass is the strum chords of developing this style in your playing. Plus, you can still play your bass lines, but then you could add your chords. Flip it over like that. bass line to something like that would be. Sounds good too, but when you use an amplifier and at a gig or practicing, just use your electric bass. I mean, we know the history of the electric bass on records, and it's well tracked. But this baby, this acoustic, there's no track record. There's nothing to go by. There's no history on it. It's untapped. I still think it's untapped. So when you're in a situation, this bass should, you don't want it to be a luxury item. The acoustic bass is not a luxury item where, well, I'll just practice with it, you know. Instead of using my electric bass, I can hear the acoustic bass better. So now it becomes a luxury item, and it's like, the heck with it, I won't even get one. But when you know that the acoustic bass somehow gradually transforms you to learning these chords, because it just sounds so good. You can't do this on an electric bass. It doesn't sound any good. Go ahead and try it. So you learn about your chord, and you learn more about your chord arpeggios, putting them together with your inversions. I'm not doing any theory on this session because I'm just demonstrating what this acoustic bass should be. If you're a serious bass player, you should have one, because you're gonna find out, you're gonna learn a lot about the chord structures and chord sounds on the acoustic bass. In fact, I learned this about teaching here, using acoustic bass. I never played this chord on electric bass in my life because I think I tried one. It sounded really bad, so it's like, that's not what a bass is for, playing chords. Well, yeah, electric bass is really not for playing chords, not strum chords. But this guy, the acoustic bass, I think it's perfect for playing chords, where now you can play in duos, trios, singles, and do full chords on it. So this item, this bass guitar, this acoustic bass guitar, you can't think of it as a luxury item anymore. It's not a luxury item. It's if you're a serious bass player, this acoustic bass is a necessity. You got to have one, because you're not really going to learn this on the electric bass. And if you do, you're not going to play it live, because it's really not going to sound that good. When you play this on acoustic bass live, it's going to sound phenomenal. It's going to sound like a guitar, but an octave lower, a bass guitar. And this can be done on any acoustic bass. So I highly recommend it. Get an acoustic bass and go about it as a chordal instrument instead of a bass instrument. You can still play your bass lines on it, but if you're going to practice, just practice on your electric bass. You know, there's no reason to get one of these just to practice on, because you can hear it better. Then it becomes a luxury item, and most of us can't afford luxury items or don't need them to get in the way. You wind up leaving them in the closet. So you should have one of these guys everywhere, so it becomes a chordal instrument. Alright, today is June 6, 2011, and I think I've said enough about the acoustic for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.